Hi everyone, I'm Jared Mason.
And I'm Justin Mason. And today we're doing something a little different. This is a favorite characters and maybe a favorite moments video for, do you want to do all three of our series or you just want to do the one?
Trinity of Heroes, there's plenty of favorite characters
All right.
in that one.
So that's
a full video right there.
This is a favorite characters video for the Trinity of Heroes, Book 1 of the I Will Protect You saga. So, all right, Jared, tell me in the entire book, if you had to pick one character, and there are so many, who is your favorite, and tell us why.
Oh man. I think I love what we did with Saber Gray. I love that character, from the name to the mannerisms to just his overall sense of duty at the end of the book. He is the great knight that's seen it all, that's been through it all, that's kind of jaded. He's kind of, you know, he acts like he doesn't want to be a part of it. He acts like he doesn't care, but deep down in the very thick of his soul, he does. And
he'll go to war for you.
He will, and he'll stand up for you, and he'll be there at the end. And for those of you that have read the book, or that haven't read it yet, when you first meet Saber Gray, you'll know what I'm talking about. When Lawrence first meets him, they don't really get off on the best of terms, so to speak. And by the end of the book, they're battling with each other, and it's just great.
It's really funny how we actually ended up creating Saber Gray, because originally when we first wrote the Trinity of Heroes, we did not have them being squires to veteran knights. And I think it's really interesting how changing the storyline just a little bit in that story allowed for us to create some of these phenomenal characters. Yep. Saber Gray he is a combination of every goof-off I've ever met with some of the most serious people you can think of. You know, he's got that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I want to say player undertone, like, you know, he's got his wife lusting after him constantly.
Yeah.
Saber,
who's 20 years younger.
She's 20 years younger. Come back to bed. I'll be there in a minute, baby. You know, I mean, that's one of my favorite parts about him, is he's crazy, but in like a,
but when the chips are on the table and the final hand is being played,
you want him on your team.
You want him on your team. You want him on your side.
Absolutely.
And, you know, he's the veteran linebacker on the football team, so to speak.
Basically, yeah,
you know?
Yeah, or the quarterback that you know is gonna bring in the new quarterback. You know what I mean? He's got to pass the torch. Passing of the torch is a theme we do a lot in our book, and Saber Gray definitely wants to pass that torch, but whether or not he'll find somebody to pass it to is a completely different story.
Yep. Let's talk villains, dude.
Villains?
Give me the best villain that we have so far.
I personally think, well, my best villain, I don't think you'll agree with it, but I know you want to do Philip Arcel Galexia. That's a really important villain to talk about. He is the pompous, arrogant
fool
prick. He is the rich boy, and you want to punch him in the face within 5 pages after meeting him.
Yep.
Not even. The first page you meet him, you want to punch him in the face. You wish you could be there so you could deck him for Lawrence.
Yep.
You know, he's just that kind of guy. He's that kind of pompous,
of course,
that kind of
when
arrogant.
Lawrence first meets him, of course, Lawrence is young, barely in the night guard training. So how does he have the confidence to stand up to Philip, rich boy Philip?
And he's never had to do that before. No. You know, he's always just been at home with mom and, you know, even dad earlier on. So he's never really had to deal with a bully, I guess we can call Philip, before. And
their back and forth and their relationship throughout the novel is
very sour.
And it's a great play between, you know, the young, the very dutiful
and very proper Lawrence Sanctus at the start of the book.
And the guy who thinks he's been given everything versus Lawrence, who has worked for everything.
But Philip also believes he deserves everything, not just money and riches, but, you know,
everything, including Elsie.
Yes, very, very important. Philip he does some horrible things. He does some very despicable things, and some people that have read the book have actually come into our grocery store where we have paperbacks available for the Trinity of Heroes. I had one lady tell me When I read that part with Philip, I had to skip ahead when I finished that part because I had to know if a certain something happened. I couldn't put it down until I knew that. I couldn't go to bed that night. And I just smiled and I said, well, at least I know I did my job.
Right.
Because Philip he's an unpredictable character and leads to some pretty great action, that's for sure. Definitely a big fight feel with him, and it's very, very happy with how that character came out.
The final throwdown between him and Lawrence is just awesome.
Well, we think it is anyway. Oh, man. My favorite villain, though, I think it tops everybody, is Castor Char. He is the dark sorcerer. He is the young sorcerer turned bad, corrupted by evil. He has discovered the, what would be the word? It would be the allure of dark sorcery, I think, and how powerful it is and how strong it can make you. But what are the costs? What are you willing to sacrifice for that power, you know? And
he's the antithesis to Galvin Gabriel, of course, who is the good sorcerer in the story, who is
training to become the next master sorcerer of Veronesia. And what's interesting is when they're younger, they have a sorcerer's duel. And Castor performs this forbidden spell. Now this is I wouldn't call this spoiler. I would call this is story. This is history and storyline. You'll learn this very early on in the book. And because of it, Galvin exiles himself, and Galvin's father banishes Castor from the home of the sorcerers, the Everglen. So what that does is that's going to set up our storyline for our sorcerers for the book. And the reason I love Castor so much is we were just talking about unpredictability back with Philip. Castor is the most unpredictable villain I think I've ever seen in any book. You never know what he's going to do, and when he does something, it's sick and twisted. It's evil, it's demonic, it's purposeful, and if you get in his way, he will kill you. Nobody is safe from Castor Char. No. He is very much a personification and embodiment of evil. I really love him as a villain. He is probably my favorite villain.
Yep. I have to agree. He's such a great, foil for Galvin that their interplay throughout the story is just awesome for a sorcerer battle.
Well, guys, thanks for checking this out. This has been our first favorite characters video. I'm Justin Mason.
And I'm Jared Mason.
And be sure to check out the Trinity of Heroes, Book 1 of the I Will Protect You saga. We'll have links in the description. And we're going to be back with another video real soon.